new Snowball evolution, which is going to change how people defend. Let's take a look and see which evolutions are the best in the game. Starting off with the Snowball evolution. Now, personally, I don't think it's going to be that influential. People will definitely try to defend like how people defend lightning. Instead of bunching their troops together, they will want to spread them out. And I can see this being used very skillfully in many different situations. But in general, I'd probably put a high A tier. I don't think it's going to be that good. However, I can see it in a couple of decks and it might work. I don't know. Now, Electro Dragon evolution was alright when it came out because of the fact that they nerfed it so that it wouldn't stun infinitely. And so right now it's an okay position with Golem, and you find this every now and then. Not the most groundbreaking evolution, but it would have been if it stunned infinitely, which would have been absolutely horrible. Now, Evil Musketeer, you know, you just gotta put an A tier. Here's the thing, right? Evil Musketeer snipes from just all the way back in the tower, but I would say it was a really good evolution with 2.6, obviously. Really good against like Bomber. Now, Evolution Ice Spirit. Listen, I usually put this in crap Evo, but here's the thing. I realized what the meta was nowadays. And Evil Ice Spirit on defense does really decent against beatdown. I misinterpreted the potential of the Evil Ice Spirit, and so I'm just gonna put it in A tier because of just how good it can be in the right hands. And that's just what I didn't understand in the last tier lists. Evil Cannon upon its release wasn't the biggest thing in the world. You know, with these two paired, Evil Cannon and Evil Musketeer, they kinda improved 2.6, which, you know, it made their lives better. But the only ability it has is done after a whole second. And so its only perk is gone. It's Meteor Shower, which isn't that influential anyways, especially because you can't control where it goes. And also keep in mind, it doesn't do that much damage. Yes, it does knock back, but it's not that difficult to counter. Evo Archers, because of just the prevalence of arrows in this situation, are just going to be in C tier. Ever since they made it so that you can kill Evo Archers with arrows, bottom of the barrel, and you know, Expo players use them occasionally, but you're not going to see these two often. Damage was nerfed, the range was nerfed, got over nerfed. It was one of the best evolutions in the game, and there's no recovery unless they buff it. Evil Bomber is going to go in S tier, probably middle of the range, maybe lower S tier because, well, first of all, there's nothing really much better than that. And second of all, Evil Bomber is really good at connecting to the tower. It's like a magic archer tornado, except it does insane damage when it connects. Also, the thing is really just good in general with Swarm, and on defense is alright, but it's still in S tier, I believe. You know, with Evolution Knight, it's a really solid evolution. It was extremely powerful when it first came out, but they kept on nerfing and then nerfing it, and it is still a solid evolution. But in this meta right now, it's not the best. We're gonna put this in high B tier. You know, getting countered by a lot of things like Goblin Stein and stuff like that in this meta. Evolution P.E.K.K.A is going to be middle high A tier. This thing has a ceiling ability, hasn't really had much balance changes besides the one recently, but that kind of brought it down a little more. It's not really much more than a regular P.E.K.K.A. The Evolution P.E.K.K.A, man, it was really good. Evolution Goblin Cage. Okay, this thing is pretty bad. Its only ability is really niche and not very widespread. Let's put it low B tier for now. Once we get more cards in there, we'll see how far down it is. You just gotta have a spell like Fireball, Rocket, even arrows just to chip it down a little bit. Evil Tesla, this thing fell off hard high B tier. They nerfed the stun a couple times. You don't really see this thing much other than Expo Tesla, but nowadays not so much, and you don't see this anymore. Evo Mega Knight, this guy, we're gonna put this in lower A tier, mainly because of the fact it's really normal Mega Knight damage, normal Mega Knight stats, besides the fact that it can knock back, and that thing isn't that much special because of Inferno Tower and stuff like that that can counter it. And, you know, you got Swarm. You just normally how you counter Mega Knight, you can probably counter this guy. Okay, so Evo Firecracker had an interesting journey. You know, it was really powerful when it first came out. We all know that, but I actually see it a lot more, especially with Hog EQ being a lot more prevalent from what I see, at least. I don't know about you guys. Top 100 in the world, you know, whatever. It's fine. And we're gonna put this in lower B tier. It hadn't had any changes that I'm aware of, other than just the decks that it's used in are being used more. You probably see it more, actually. Hopefully we don't see another meta with this stupid evolution. The Evil Battle Ram is gonna go in C tier, probably middle of the range, because it was alright when it came out. It was actually kind of decent. Then they nerfed it so that it couldn't push back big troops. And, you know, it's really just a normal battle ram. You don't have much of an issue countering this. Yeah, it can be pretty good in certain scenarios if you have like a freaking skeleton army, but who uses a skeleton army anymore? Bird spam, you can see this guy sometimes, but other than that, I don't see this much at all. Skeletons, we're gonna put this in in higher A tier, you don't really use this thing on offense. It's been a solid evolution. Hadn't had any balance changes that I'm aware of. It has been there for a year plus, and it is still one of the best evolutions in the game. Evil Barbs, we're gonna throw that down in C tier as well. You know, one of the problems with Barbs is that you have to use regular Barbarians. The thing is, no one uses regular Barbarians besides the evolution, and you only really see this in Lava Hounds. We're just gonna throw that above the Evil Ram because, you know, no one likes the Evil Ram. You know, with the Rage, it doesn't really do that much. You kind of just treat them like normal Barbarians, so that's just how it is. Evo Bats, crap evolution. So these things can be pretty irritating if you don't know what you're doing and you place stupid things down. Yeah, you can use them with Evil Mega Knife. Just zap them and then you're done with it. Or arrows. You know, there's a lot of arrows going around now. Goblinstein, you know, Goblinstein counters these guys. Snowball evolution, you know, Snowball or Musketeer. Or Cannon evolution, Electro, you know, a lot of stuff counters these guys. RG, pretty decent, you know, RG is RG. Nothing special about this really. Been there for the longest time, and they gave it out for free to everyone. So, you know, everyone has this guy, but, you know, that doesn't show in the games that you play. Lower A tier, still kind of annoying if you don't have a building or anything like that in Cycle. Evo Valkyrie has always been lingering around the lower A tier, high B tier, so just to fill the B tier area. I'm just gonna put that in high B tier. Not really changed in this meta. I mean, it had gotten a buff a few months back, but nothing really special changed with her. By the way, guys, this is a different month. A new Tower Troop is coming out. This is going to completely change this tier list. Keep in mind, this is going to change the whole landscape of Clash Royale. My point is, this is all subject to change. Evil Barrel, we're going to put in bottom B tier. Barrel doesn't really do much besides the second barrel and, you know, the stupid clones. And with the arrows, Goblinstein, just a lot of spells, a lot of counters, Snowball evolution, Logbait players, and that's really it. Kind of annoying if you get caught in a bad spot. So Evil Zap fell off incredibly hard. We're gonna put that high C tier because it doesn't do 3 zaps anymore. It does 2, and those 2 zaps are pretty bad. Nothing against the Evil Zap. It was really one of the best evolutions in the game, but they had to nerf it, and they did. Mortar evolution. You know, I used to see a lot of Mortar Miner and stuff like that. Cannon Cart. You know, with Cannon Cart being pretty prevalent, we're gonna put that in high B tier, low A tier. It's kind of annoying if you don't know what you're doing, but you know, it's only really used in Mortar decks. However, with Goblinstein, it's just gonna put that in B tier. Wallbreaker evolution, we're gonna put that in C tier right around here. You know, they got nerfed so many times, I can't even keep track of them. I saw the fall off because I used these guys. They were really good until they got nerfed so hard. Now they don't do much damage, and the smaller version of these guys, the one without the barrel, they do almost nothing to the tower. I mean, even if you counter like drill wallbreakers, they're not using the wallbreaker evolution, they're using something else like the bomber. And we always go to the bottom of B tier for Wizard evolution. The shield can get countered by log now, which is the only perk with the Wizard evolution, and now it's just completely redundant. Rest in peace, the Wizard evolution, one of the best evolutions in the game. You have to use normal Wizard, which is 5 elixir. I don't think Wizard should be 5 elixir. Goblin Giant evolution with Sparky and Rage can be so annoying, it's not even funny. Middle A tier, spawning those stupid goblins behind. It's not much of an addition, but the Goblin Giant was pretty decent in its own right. Adding this evolution was a really nice idea. Decent / good. You can use this guy and it'd be fine. Goblin Drill evolution, we're gonna put that in middle lower A tier. I recognize that I am a little bit biased in that because I use drill, I put it in S tier in the last video. I realize now it's probably not the best thing in the world. I'd leave it at that. Good evolution, decent if you know how to play Goblin Drill, and really annoying if you don't know how to counter it. Royal Recruits, honestly, you can delete the Royal Recruits Supercell and I'd be completely fine with it. No one would be mad. Fireball Bait was really good a few months ago. Nowadays it's alright. High B tier. Now this is the final tier list. Now a couple things I'd like to say before you guys leave. First of all, Bomber in S tier. So I don't know how many games this Evolution Bomber has clutched up for me when I was losing, and then it clutched up because of its ability to reach the tower from way far back. It is insane. Second of all, the Tower Troop is going to completely throw a wrench into every single evolution in this list. Now, I don't know what it is yet, but I'll tell you this, it will change the whole landscape. I cannot emphasize this enough. And please, if you're watching this from the future, now that the Tower Troop is out, let me know what the evolution tier list is now. And join the International Clash Royale and Brawl Stars Discord server. It's a wonderful place. Subscribe. I'll see you all in a bit. Follow me on Twitter.